Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite makes the process of becoming a published, best-selling author as simple as sipping your morning cup of coffee. You can learn more about Authors Unite at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today, I have Jonathan Pace with us. He's a franchise consultant and the founder of On Pace Franchise and Business Advisors. He expertly guides entrepreneurs through the process of buying a franchise. So welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Grateful to have you here. We'll jump right in, John. The first one I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
I would say one of the best stories from my life with the underlying valuable messages, about just how I had come up through finding my path to entrepreneurialism and finding that by, being younger and finding my passion originally in automotive technology and working at an auto parts store and just getting to experience that and knowing that by the time I was done with that, I actually didn't want to continue there because maybe it was more of, the being around people. And actually I've uncovered over time that, I am big on being around people. That got me to, move over more towards the business side, but still know that, by following my passions, I can do things that I love.
And what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Well, one of the most valuable pieces within my industry really, I would say, is that if you wanted to get started on owning your own business or buying a franchise, you can find resources out there, and you don't necessarily have to have all that capital saved up front. We can work with different resources to find the, different things that you'll need to get going on business. And so with that, there's no sense in waiting for too long. Rather, get started early on and start planning towards what you'd like it to be.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Sure. Best piece of overall advice is definitely don't need to work towards perfectionism. It's better to do more and try things out. And that's always something that I lived by. And by doing so, you'll see what results you produce and be able to adjust to the situation.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
My younger self, I think that I'd let him know just to really keep doing what he's doing, and that by doing so, you'll actually get more done rather than overthinking the things that you're spending your time on. As long as it's somewhat, productive and you're passionate about it and having a good time.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Oh, well, right along the same vine, I would suppose, by doing things that you're passionate about and following those, you can generally find a way to not only fulfill, that you like doing it, but also it can generally also lead to some sort of, income as well later on if you continue to, work towards it.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
I really liked the book I read called The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. And one of the things it taught me was a little bit about the law of attraction and really just the things that you're thinking about, that you believe in strongly and most intensely about, you'll bring about. And so when I found myself, in a position or, a certain job maybe that I wasn't overly happy. And when you're feeling these intense feelings, rather to, find yourself, towards what you'd like to be rather than to dwell on, what you're feeling at that moment. Because you'll know that one day, you'll be in a different position.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
Oh, so I really like a quote by Albert Einstein, which is a person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new. And just because I really believe strongly that if you want to try something, you should get out there and do it.
Mm. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. The last one I have for you before we let you go is, where is the best place for people to find and or connect with you online?
Oh, excellent. My website would be the best place to find us directly. It's www.onpacefranchising.com, or you can find me at any of my social media handles at Johnny on Pace.
Perfect. Thanks again, man. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Tyler.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.